going to talk to you this evening on the subject of the spectrum of love. We know that from time to time there arise among human beings people who seem to exude love as naturally as the sun gives out heat.
And this is where I am, and I'm all that. And this is where I am, and I'm all that. Love has spoken to me, and it said, welcome home, now be free. And this is where I am, and I'm all that. This is where I am, and I'm all that. Love has spoken to me, and it said, welcome home, now be free. Welcome home, now be free. She said, be love, be love, be free, be free. 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 Set yourself free.
Welcome to our opening ceremony. We're going to start with a little jingle and then we're going to say hi to each of us. We're live also, so it's great for everybody else out there to see us. It's going to be a great feast, but for now, let's just launch our little jingle just for the fun of it. So there we go. Right, so welcome everybody. If we can have a namaste, all of us together, we're going to unmute and we're going to start the ceremony with, as always, Monica, a little bit of like consecration. I think you can unmute yourself, and if we can all like be in our space.
Yeah, so let's start this ceremony by consecrating. Imagine you're not identified with your thoughts, you're not identified with your feelings, nor your body, nor your mind. You're just not identified with anything that normally is you. And when you act from that space, then the fruits of all your actions will be given to the divine good. So that's what we're going to do now. So close your eyes and relax your jaw, relax your shoulders, relax your belly, and focus in your heart. So let's now consecrate this opening water ceremony and also the whole pranic feast to the highest supreme consciousness. Thank you. You can take a deep breath. Thank you so much. Bobby.
Thank you, Monica.
Thank you, Monica.
Yeah. If someone, before we go on with the asatoma and like the next part, yeah, usually I think we do the asatoma with the water, so we're going to do it in a second. Before we start, I just have one word to share. Maybe you can, I don't know if anybody has can find a link to invite Patty or some. I know there were some people that not known, but Camilla, I don't know if you can like send the link to Patty on the Just group. I think she was trying to join. So before we start, I think before we can speak about pranic nourishment for those 3.5 days, I usually like say this. We're all going to be like sharing our own like approach to pranic living, pranic nourishment for this weekend. But I like to say that before we can talk about prana, it might be a great quest to try to recognize what prana is. So I invite you for this weekend to kind of like introspect. Of course, some of us have done it like many feasts, but anybody who is new to this, like it's important that when we're talking about pranic nourishment, focusing on like recognizing what it is within you and not what someone else might be saying about what it is. So, and just to give a few things about this process, the pranic process, this body is made of like, if it's a story and if we believe in that story or whatever, the body is made of the 4 elements or 5 elements and or 4 in the Akash, whatever. When we're fasting, I always start with this story because I feel I do like it. When we're fasting, we're basically dry fasting. We're not doing the same as water. It's like we're going deeper in a way. So when we're doing this amazing process, it's like 3 times more intense. For example, to relate it to the 4 elements, if you're fasting from food, solid food, like from the earth element, we call this water fasting. But then if you're like fasting from the water itself and no longer taking water, then maybe we could call this fire fasting, but not really. But the next element after water is fire. And what happens when we're like using fire, to burn the toxins is much more faster than when we're using water to eliminate the toxins. Just like if we wanted to like destroy a lot of like forest, it would be faster with fire than water. So the same might happen in the body. And if we believe the body is made of like water, when we dehydrate all of that water, we also dehydrate that memory, that karma that we carry. So when we're going through this process, it's not just physical, it's a whole lot of things that are like basically we're letting go of. And especially memories. And that's why a lot of people through those pranic process can like rewrite, reprogram whatever we want after. So during this purification process, basically we're still going to be on full like energy. Something's going to happen, but that energy, which we can call prana, is what's nourishing us. And so one can recognize that during 3 days. So that will be the maybe if there's an intention, everyone can connect with that source. So before we start, and we're going to share a little bit of words with each other. If you guys like can also like turn on your mic later. But for now, I think we should drink now, because I know some people might say, well, it's not exactly 3.5 days because you guys waited 13 minutes to drink. So let's just drink so we make it a full 3.5 days if you guys can. And then there's a little bit more sharing. So just grab your last water with you. Before we do the water ceremony where you're going to drink your last water, if Jerome is around and he's got his flute and he wants to play, that would be great. But not just now. I think we'll do the asatoma first, if that's okay. Some of you guys know about asatoma. I'm going to not use my voice for it. If the sound in your room is great, then amazing. You might hear my voice, but I'm still going to play Sadhguru on it. The word is being said, you say the word in response. Yeah, if you don't know it, and you can do it both times or just on the response if you prefer to hear it first, okay? So this mantra, I can just pull it on the screen, at least the text, we can just look at it together, is something that I love to keep for a pranic feast. And there you can see the mantra. So asatoma sadgamaya, each line, I'm just translating them for you guys. From ignorance, lead me to truth. From darkness, lead me to light. From death, lead me to immortality and peace. So if you guys can just relax right now, bring your spine straight and close your eyes or open your eyes when you want to see the words. Bring your shoulders relaxed. You can connect with the top of your head a little bit. And listen to the music being played. The mantra is going to be sung, so just follow the words. We'll talk after that, and we'll have a little pause.
Sadgamaya Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya Mrityurma Amritangamaya Om Shanti Shanti Shanti
In your room, if you want to play, everybody with your drinks, just pour yourself water, hold your drink, both hands, so that you can also give all of your positive vibration for the next 3 days. Keep that This will be your last water. So bring both hands on your cup, just for, you can feel already, both hands on the cup is different than just like carrying your hand like that, right? So just a little moment with yourself, keep 20 seconds at least, or the whole time of the flute, whatever you guys want.
Thank you, everyone, for joining. So wonderful to be with you all again. And may you enjoy this pranic feast.
Bobby, you're muted.
Cheers to you guys.
Cheers.
Cheers, everyone. Cheers.
Cheers.
Oh, Patty's here. Cheers.
Saúde.
Cheers. All right. We can still sit on if you want for the next minutes, and let's just have a little bit of discussion, because there's no real set song. Every teacher has some approach that everybody's going to learn. So I don't think we're going to go through the teachers right now. It would take a little bit of time. Last time it did. I think everybody is like just on each session or as much as you can and get to know each other. I will just share a few words, but before I do, I wanted to ask if any of the people helping organize it, like Ali, Camilla, Monica, if anybody wanted to like share something right now, if you want to wait and share maybe later, whatever. If anyone has to share something right now, just please unmute.
I want to know if it's anybody's first time.
Oh yes, good question. Not his time. Okay. Who else? Just wave your hand.
Yeah.
Diana?
Yay, Patty.
Diana, right?
else?
Is that your first time?
3.5 days or in general?
Yeah,
3.5 days.
Yeah, 3.5 days is the first time, yeah.
Awesome, great. Yeah, we need to know like everybody was first time because let's make sure that you guys connect with us, you know?
Diana in the
else?
house.
It's my first pranic feast.
Okay, Akasha. Okay, great, cool. Good to know. Have you guys like
Awesome.
Diana, Patty, and Akasha joined the private chat at least or not yet?
No?
Okay. And Diana?
The private chat on Telegram or on Pranic?
Yeah, not the. We have a public Telegram. I just want everybody to know there's a private chat for the feast. If you go on the page of the event under the main picture, a chat button, it goes to a private chat. This is where all of us, Luisa, Ellie, Camila, myself, like we are giving like support. Like especially you can also chat privately if you want to, or you can even call us during the 3.5 days. Like we have to make sure that everybody knows, Camila, Ellie, Monica, myself, we're like kind of organizing and helping. Luisa is also on like more like the emotional support if you want. So anybody just know that.
Yeah.
And
So
actually,
if
by the way,
anybody,
yeah.
yeah, can I just say, if anybody need any, emotional support, don't hesitate. Please just, contact me or Ellie or Fabi or Luisa. And Monica, I don't know if you want to be contacted, but yeah. So don't
I think
hesitate.
there's also technical. So like for anything technical, you can definitely come to Monica or myself. I think Monica is pretty techy now, so if you need. I think we're good, but we can get into like any question if you have. But I want, because there's no real set song. I used to have it at the beginning. I'm going to give you guys like a quick like what the set song used to be each day, but in very short, in 10 minutes. Okay? So just don't sleep. If you I'll try to like spice it up. So it's important not just for new people, it's also important for ourselves to remind ourselves sometimes. So let's just say we're going to start with the day 1, okay? And that day 1, I'm calling it sensations, okay? So let's just observe for now. Many of you already know. Let's just close our eyes or let's breathe together. Just keep silent or listen to my voice. And focus on the tip of your nose. Feel the air passing through the nose, through the nostril. Breath is a mystery. Just keep observing the breath without forcing it, just as it is. Are you really in control of this breath? If ever you wanted to check, just take a deep breath in, like right now, and a deep breath out. And again, deep breath in, and a deep breath out. And then let the breath happen of its own. Is the breath happening without this forcing? It is happening. And so that breath, the natural breath, is the one you might want to observe through the 3.5 days. The breath is still happening always of its own. Everything is happening of its own. Everything also is disappearing spontaneously out of its own. And so the next few days, let's use that for introspection in the sensations that are appearing and disappearing. You're going to experience many of them. Some people, it might be this way, some others might be that way. Sometimes it might be great. Sometimes it might be like visual. Sometimes it might be like tingles. Sometimes it might be headaches. It may be many information, many things appearing and disappearing. For 3.5 days, we get to be the observer because we're taking this time to stop and observe. And each day is going to be more intense. So just remain the observer of all of that which is appearing and disappearing spontaneously. Even that. And also don't engage so much with it. Like the sensations are happening, you don't have to call them something. Or the emotions are coming up, you don't necessarily have to go too much into it. Just observe where they're coming from or how they're disappearing, whatever. But there's no need to loop onto something and to create more drama out of it. Just observe. This is a time where you can surrender. This is a time where you're going to surrender your mind and your body to Mother Earth for 3.5 days. And guess what? It's not a bad thing. It's like giving, like Sadhguru says, giving back the body, this engine, to its maker. So you can surrender. There's no problem. Let her do the job of the healing. Trust that whatever sensations or emotions is just natural. It's what should happen. The first day is called sensations for me because it's all what it's about. The second day, I'm going to call it nourishment because if the first day you might go through sensation, observe them. On the second day, you can start recognizing what is pranic nourishment. And I call it nourishment the second day because that's when there might be more sensations happening. None of those sensations are, like I said, are not natural or like different. They're just what's happening. And they don't need the attention of a doctor. That's important. They don't need the attention of someone else. Maybe you can relate to us, you can ask us, but still know that you're in the perfect hand. And it's part of the process. Like those emotions are really part of the process. Whatever's going to happen is part of the process. Just like any ceremony, it's a serious undertaking. The body's going to cleanse, so it's normal that you might feel some headaches still. And so that might disturb you into finding what nourishment is about, you know. Headaches, nausea, irritability on the second day, that might happen. Aching muscles, coated tongue, what else? Bad breath, restlessness, insomnia, whatever you want to call. It's not really insomnia, for example. It's just that you don't need to sleep as much. You have a different energy, or maybe you might sleep a lot. It's all different, okay? But just know you can surrender everything, the situation, to this ceremony, to Mother Earth. You're in the right hands. So when I speak about nourishment on the second day, usually it's because I like to share this with you because I think it can help. It did help me. In Buddhism, they talk about the 4 nutriments. And so, not trying to give you like a course on Buddhism, but just bare minimum. We're never only nourished by solid food. We're always nourished by different types of food. So the Buddhism call that the nutriments, and they call it the 4. The first one is solid, material food. The second one is sensory food. The third one is volition, which is kind of like motivation or intention. And the fourth one is consciousness food. So think of it. You've got material food that you're giving up, but you've got those 3 other food that you can nourish yourself from. Sensory food, which is everything you hear, you see, you touch, all the 5 senses. That's the nourishment. On the second day, just absorb and feed yourself off of those sensations. The way you walk barefoot outside, if it's cold, if it's hot, the way you see things. Then you can go introspect deeper and look at the motivation. What makes you do this one step? Why do you have the intention to make a step? Without having the intention to taking a step into the ceremony, you wouldn't be here. So there's always, every step we make, there's always this intention first to make the step. That's the inner voice, or that's the however you see it. So observe that. This is what first gives you the will to be here and to live. And then consciousness. Welcome to this group. It's a great group. So we're actually going to be nourished by this group, to be honest. That's the consciousness food. If you go into a country, you are nourished by that country's consciousness. There's different consciousness individually and collectively. Your own consciousness is feeding you. So those things are to be observed, so that you don't trip only on the fact that, oh, you don't have material food anymore. Yeah. What else? Next is like an affirmation that we share on Sunday, but we can share it now. That is the main one. There's many others Jerome shared with us last time. Okay, good. I didn't see. Oh yeah, they are. No, you listen. Trying to spice it up. See if you guys still okay. I am nourished by prana only. I eat for pleasure. I repeat it. This is an affirmation. For anyone new, please use it. This is important. I am nourished by prana. I'm nourished by prana only. I eat for pleasure. This is very important. And eventually that affirmation will make sense over the course of the 3 days. Okay, 2 more minutes. Last day is surrender. That's how I call it. Surrender. The last day is the most important day. The physical detox is kind of like slowly, like you can feel like it's switching to something else. But it's still going to vary, okay? Each person has different feelings and emotions coming up, even the most experienced one at every moment that we do those ceremony. But you may start feeling a new energy on your day, and that energy is intriguing. So work with it. I mean, play with it. All your 5 senses might feel more enhanced or extended. There's no need to call this like superpowers, or it's just naturally who we are in our natural state, and we become way more in tune with everything. So that is going to be a beautiful moment, and we can keep it as long as we want. We can make it last. We don't. So appreciate this ceremony. You're very courageous for being per day. You'll be hearing and listening and feeling and touching so much more in tune and differently. You might also feel weaker. It's possible. It depends on like each of us. Okay, the process might be different for you. It's okay. You don't have to expect to have this experience or that experience. But you might feel dizzy on the 3rd day still. It's okay. That means you might need to lie down. Just listen to what Mother Earth is saying. Uh, and it's not because you are in this ceremony that you are more dizzy. I mean, sure, it might do that on the 3rd day, but know that if you stand up too quick, even before the ceremony, you might also feel dizzy. So the ceremony or this moment is not to be blamed for anything, just observe. But let go. That's the 3rd day. The 3rd day is we need to let go as much as we can of this control, of thinking we know everything. And the feeling of hunger will not feel the same either after 3 days. So notice one last thing that I can say now, but maybe I'll repeat it later. Like I said with the breath, it's happening spontaneously. If you remember what I'm sharing now, maybe you can remember tomorrow morning or the next day. Everything is happening spontaneously, and you wake up. It's the best moment also to realize that just before you woke up, just before you open your eyes, you started like having this body or this thing, you are. And then this thing body or this thing mind happens spontaneously. But remembering that everything is spontaneous and that we can let go of this body and this mind, because that is not what we are. We're made of this prana, of this love. So on the 3rd day, you might want to go deeper and really like just not don't try to hold your body together, your story, your life, your me, or any of this. Just let go of it, and have whatever experience Mother Earth wants to give you. Good. On the 4th day, we can call this rebirth. There's not a big sharing on this one. Everybody is going to be different. I think we're going to ask everyone to have a journal if you guys want to share on your own journal, like just some writings, and like be creative for what you want to call a rebirth. Like, what do you want to do after this? Because new things will be like experienced, new beliefs might be wanted or created, and you are the creator, so you can do that on this Pranic feast. That's the best moment to do that. Yeah, and yeah, and I think the last thing that I have to refeeding, but I'm done with the talking. After we have the closing ceremony, we're gonna start refeeding. Everybody, sometimes during we're gonna give some practical stuff just after this moment, but just for the refeeding, I need to say it like first we're gonna have a closing ceremony that everybody is important that you join, just to sip water slowly together, not with the whole like cup, but probably with a spoon because you will not be used to it. Just slowly sipping. And if you do not join the ceremony, here is what you need to really know. First day, you will need to sip on water for 24 hours and no salt, no sugar, nothing. And the second day, you can start adding diluted juice into your water, and only a little bit later then start adding some juice. Whatever you felt on the third day, 3.5, it's precious. Each new material food you're going to put in it might create new interpretation, might distort this natural state. So we don't want to go so quick into whatever we're going through right now. So we might not want to go too quick back into like food. So I have a plan that you don't have to join, but welcome to join. I'm calling it ecstatic bliss. Basically, it's for anyone who wants to keep the state of the third or fourth day a little longer, like for 10 days, you know? So anybody can come and join me. I'm offering the refeeding plan. It's kind of the same thing as the juice challenge that we had with Camilla, like for 10 days, but it's the opposite. It's like, okay, going into the feast and then going out of the feast. So the going out of the feast, basically anybody can take the menu. I have a refeeding menu that helps with salty or sweet option. And also it goes from like, you know, water, liquids to raw food, all the way to raw food. So everybody can choose the path that they want to take. And after the feast, because it's the beginning for many people, it's not like, oh, that's it. Okay, I go back to my life. You know, it's a journey. So it's like we created Pranic Family so we can still be here for each other every month. Not everybody in this life lives this way. So if we can help each other, let's do it as much as we can. So we have made this website for that reason. And we're traveling, some of us as well, because we actually sometimes enjoy like living this way, close to each other. All right. During the refeeding plan, one last thing, I'm also going to try to keep some of the practice that all the teachers are going to share. Okay, some of them, not everybody, because I'm learning some new techniques every time with all of you, but at least I know some of Iso's Qigong and some you know, different breath work and meditation maybe. So we're going to try to keep some of them for anybody that doesn't have a routine. Like that's a good ceremony to start having a routine. You just join for 10 days and every morning we can keep a routine. You don't have to come live, but you can follow the program that we made. I think that's it. We can share a little bit if you want. There's a few more things I'll share after, like on the end, like liability stuff and organization stuff, practical. But anyone wanted to share something or ask a question? Is a good time now. Hallelujah. So that I can sip on the water. It's nice to see you guys.
Nobody wants to talk.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
Please do. Go ahead. Did we scare you?
No. I love all of this, but I was thinking about essential oils because apparently to live on prana, it's as much as like as least as possible to take anything from outside. But essential oil is something from outside. But I have like a dilemma about essential oils. Are we allowed to use them or not?
Yeah. I mean, oh yeah, so in terms of like technical, the only thing we're not doing is we're not swallowing water. This is a soft, dry fast. Very important for everybody. Of course, anybody can do like a hard on their own, but we're not recommending that because it's online. Soft, dry fast meaning you can rinse your mouth because your mouth will probably be dry. You can shower, you can brush your teeth, you can go swim in a lake, go in the rain, whatever you want to do with water, you can be in contact with it, no problem. Go in the ocean if you have the ocean. But no swallowing of the water, except just right now, until we close this session. and
Okay, and
and
Diana,
and
if
the
the
oil,
oils,
yes, as long as you don't like take them in just on the skin or whatever. Yeah, go ahead.
yeah, but I was just saying, since water on the skin, you can absorb water through your skin. That's fine. But when it comes to essential oils, when you absorb it through your skin, it may have like some effect on you. So if you know that the oil would have some effect on you, maybe just avoid those 3 days and just wait for it to next when you're done. Maybe water is fine though. Yeah, that's just an advice. What do you think, Fabi?
No, I was
I
gonna
can
say
put
that.
on lavender oil and it makes you like all sleepy and weaker. You never know. So you want to keep that energy.
I
So
think,
maybe
like I
sleep.
said in some of the words that we were sharing about what this is about, just experiment, but keep the little tips. The little tips are after the ceremony, no more swallowing water. Everything else you can experience. Um, what else? Yeah, experiment with yourself in a way. But in terms of the five sensations, like if you want to go barefoot, you might want to walk. So there are many things that we're gonna talk on the chat just to like give some ideas on do this, do that, and then start experimenting. Um,
And most importantly, don't have any expectations. Just let go and trust the process. That's the most important thing. Don't
yeah,
expect anything. Just let go.
yeah. There's one thing that I would need to say to everybody now. If you feel, I know it's been repeated, but I'm repeating it again because this is how it works with human beings. It's like a domino effect. You push one and then it's like everybody follows. So it's like nobody who might want to break should say it to anyone here because it's a domino effect. And that has happened in the past. If you have a little mind questioning, because the mind will come up and be like, who's this group? What's this group of people? What did they just do? And if that happens, it's the mind. Just come to us, but don't do it openly. Do you know why? Because then every other minds are just like asking the same questions and whatever. So just
Yeah.
ask to Camilla, Ellie, Monica, myself. Um,
Yeah.
we
If
will
you feel
help
like,
you. But
you can't continue and you feel like
yeah,
you don't want to do it anymore, just contact me and don't say it like in the group.
yeah.
Just contact me or Fabi or Ellie.
And we will never force someone. Like we
No.
were never gonna push, we're not like crazy like that. But we also know when the mind is tricking you. That's why we might not tell you, yeah, break. No, of course not. We will not say it unless really there is something. But we will know it because we know the signs from other feasts. So trust that yeah, you're in good hands. Most of us have done it, and we are all like here to help. I think
And
I
ask
have
any
some.
questions, any
Yeah.
questions.
I'll go into like liability. If you have questions, please go ahead so that we can close and not have a too long of a session. But if you have a question, please stop me or wave the hand. A few things. If some of you have epilepsy or some kind of like, problems with breath, okay? There's some sessions that might require some special breath work. If that's the case and you have epilepsy or things like that, please go slow, okay? Go slow at it, don't push yourself. Same thing if anyone has diabetes or any autoimmune disease, this is a spiritual retreat. Even if we have some people with maybe credentials coming on, not here to play doctors. This is very important. You must understand that also if you've been prescribed medications that you need to take every day, by taking them with water, you will totally break the fast, break the feast, and you will not get the benefits of it. It's important to know that, okay? Just from previous participants. If anyone has been diagnosed with mental illness, please make sure to talk to us. Make sure to let us know like as soon as possible. I'm talking if you have been diagnosed, okay? If you have a diagnosis that was given, do let us know, or at least maybe Camilla, Ali, or Luisa, because the mind might come up with like a bigger storm, okay? But we can help you, or we can suggest you a different approach, probably. This is another thing. This is not a starvation event for anyone who is watching or anyone who might like be interested in joining those pranic process. This is not a starvation event. This is the opposite of it. This is where we learn how to nourish ourselves. And this is not either, let's be clear on that too, for a lot of spiritual people, this is not a killing the ego type of event. This is also not a competition. Actually, when it comes to competition, please do not share any statistics. We're not interested into how many hours you've been dry so far. It is not about levels either. It's all a personal process. Nothing to compete. Yeah. What else? Please don't share also, yeah, one more thing. Don't share any conversation you might have on like those sessions. Like we're keeping those sessions unlisted because we don't want, for privacy reason, okay? Please don't share any stories about any other participants outside of this group. This is important. Don't share like, like the stream. If you get the link of the YouTube video and go share it, like, please don't do that. There are people that need, their privacy. That's okay. Most of the event is actually unlisted, except this live when we're just speaking out together. The everything 24/7 private, completely private. There will be just recorded on our website, and it's only for the people who are feasting. Yes, this event is for your own detox. We prefer that all practices are not shared outside the group, unless it's approved by the teacher. That's another thing. Is there any question? There's a
So I actually have some. So what I was thinking, like, is it actually like I just thought it come just now to my mind. Like maybe this is a process where we kind of go inside of ourselves and we kind of learn how to be nourished, not from outside, right? But from inside, like how to go inside and find the nourishment inside rather than outside. You know what I mean? Or it's confusing?
Yeah. I mean, everybody, you have to go inside, and the inside is also outside. So the inside. You guys are all inside. There is no outside or the opposite. So it's good, and I think the third day is gonna get deep into that. And everybody has their own interpretation. I think all the words are the same, no matter if it's said differently. We all come.
I understand what you mean,
place.
Val.
Yeah.
So you go inside and get, your food those 3 days or 4 days.
Yes, do that,
Yeah.
everybody. Make sure you go inside to get your food.
Yes,
And,
just dive inward. You're good.
Yeah, it's like kind of like maybe I like the comparison. Like you have a garden inside yourself, right? Like a soul inside your soul or whatnot. So you have a garden, beautiful garden, and you go inside the garden, yeah, like you experience joy and all that stuff, like your personal garden,
Yeah. Oh, there's your kids. Oh, yes. Also, I want to share this. Yes. about the situation that you guys live in, like your environment, each day might be more intense. If you have any concern about your environment or responsibilities that you have with kids or with, driving this or doing this job, please let us know as well. We can probably give some ideas, especially if you know what you're doing if you're doing something. If you have not planned to rest on Sunday, let us know. But on Sunday, normally you should rest. One last thing. I mean, I just have organization thing now, and then we're just going with the 3 ohms, and that's it. Any other question from anyone that's new want to ask something? The old students are not allowed to ask. Okay, good. All right. So then the last few things is about the organization. Keep the event page open somehow on your phone or online, and you can refresh the page. Normally the countdown will change for the next session. If it doesn't, know that each session there's a program. When you scroll down, you should have seen that. There's the title of the session, there's the name of the person, and there's the time. Each calendar, there's you have 2 buttons, one to click start, which goes to the Zoom, and one to add to the calendar. I don't think everybody will get notification for each session. If you have notifications when you click notifications on the app, but we might just do a countdown also on the private Telegram. So that's why I said, if you go on the website, on the event page, click on the chat button and join the private chat, so that in case you need the reminders, you can get them both, like on Telegram, because we have a countdown. We might share the links to help. We might put the replay of the videos also in Telegram, in the chat, but we're also going to put them on the website. So just help yourself. There's the website with all the replays, and there's going to be the chat as well, where we can help each other out. Try to join Zoom on time. For any teachers who is having a session, same as everybody else, just if you click join on your session at the time of your session, normally there will be one of us, Monica, Ellie, myself, or Camilla, and we will be handling the streaming for you. And if you are joining a session and you're late, make sure you're kind of muted. Normally it should be muted on each session, but in case, the first thing you should do is, if you're late, just make sure you mute yourself if you have so much noise around. It has happened to me during Vipassana sessions. Too much noise. It's really difficult when you join 30 minutes in. So I'm not sure what the rule is. There's no rules, but at the same time, if you're a teacher also and you have a session that needs quiet, you might want to tell one of us, like Camila, Ellie, just make sure that the room is locked after a certain time. That means anybody else, like if you're joining after 10 minutes, the room might be locked because we need quiet. So try to join on time. Otherwise, there will be a replay normally shared right after. What else? Telegram group. This is good for technical support. If you need help, you can just quickly chat. If you have a problem with emotional, you can also even chat with one of the admin quite quickly. Even a call, it's okay. We can talk on the phone as well. We are available the whole weekend for all of us. And anything else about technical before we close? I don't know. It's straightforward. But I know that sometimes we are not all geeks. Even if I'm the geek in the room, even me, I'm getting in trouble sometimes. It's why? So you're not alone. It's okay. We don't want you to be on the computer for the whole weekend. We don't. We just have those sessions to help us stay on track a little bit. But the rest of the time, please go out, enjoy yourself. Avoid as much as you can social media. I know it's if you could just use those 3 days for just show up for the session and just give up social media, do it. Enjoy yourself. If you can't, it's okay.
And make sure you attend to at least 2 of the sessions.
Yes, that would be great, especially because it's hard to track like where we are at, and to help everybody. So if
Yeah.
you are dropping, just do let us know. Let's have a contact.
Yeah.
Yeah, join
And I
2
would
sessions.
recommend, even if you don't feel like going outside and it's cold outside one night, just take a fresh air, even if it's snow outside. I know, Diana, I know you are in a cold place, just open the window, even just get some air. Being outside is very important. So
Music as well. We have a playlist on Spotify that is really nice. Like we don't have a holotropic breathwork session this time, but still, we have replays from the last time. Feel free to use the replays from last time as well if you need a session instantly. And
yeah.
the Spotify music is really nice. I was cleaning the whole room today with it, and I felt like, doing after the Shang action and I lying down for a few hours listening to it. You might want to do that too. So enjoy yourself with some of our music. We made it together as a group, so it's all of our sharing.
You
That's it.
can write. I would recommend more writing than reading because it's more that's coming out.
Oh yeah.
Then
If
you
you're
taking
new to
in
it,
more
if you're new to
information.
it,
So
yeah. There's Jerome's book. Jerome's book is on the website too. You guys can
yeah.
go get it, or you can look on the pranicfamily.com/books. There's a lot of books as well, in case you're new and you need
Yeah.
some
I
stuff
was
about
just
reading.
saying, write more than you read because
Oh,
I'm
that's
just thinking,
good, man.
yeah, because it's just, in taking more information, it's, we don't want to consume more. So just don't take too much information in. Try to take something out, write.
Oh,
Whatever that
with
comes to
that,
your
I think I'm gonna
mind, journal, write. Don't
I
put
think
no
I'm
more
gonna take
in.
some pictures this time. Camera this time. Like we're gonna have a pranic painting session with Dweeza. We're gonna have some amazing some dancing, some I know that some sessions is talking, but I think a lot of sessions we've tried to make sure it's moving, it's dancing, it's
Mm-hmm.
painting, it's something just for fun. All right. So we're gonna finish this session unless you have a question with 3 ohms. Yeah? Okay. So if you guys can just relax the spine. The ohm starts from, I'm just going to say it again and again. Sorry if you've heard it before, but just say it again. Try to connect the ohms with the spine by using just I'm going further. And unmute yourself, please. If you can unmute yourself, because it's a nice boo 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 going on. So if you can focus with the base of your spine first, and feel the vibration of the sound moving up the spine when you say the ohm. It's the ohm is not O-M. I mean, it could be written like this, but it's also written A-U-M, and each letter kind of stands for a sound. Like there are 3 sounds, O, which creates the ohm, which is the universal sound, which is the first sound you would say as a baby, just like this. So when we're doing the sound, each of the vowel, just feel them along your spine. Normally you would feel the vibrating around the base. You would feel the vibrating around the heart chakra, and you would feel the vibrating around the head. So let's do it together. We'll finish with 3 ohms. When you inhale, you start by focusing on the base of the spine. Okay? 3 ohms after the little bell. From now, please, thank you everybody. We're gonna have in 4 hours our next session. Every 4 hours there was one session, and yay! I think
See you guys later.
see everybody later. We'll put the events that are happening in the next few weeks just to say bye bye to everybody.
Have a great one.
Bye.
Swimming into oceans, all that emotion, drowning to survive. The tides inside my mind, my hands are reaching out. Speak about, waves crashing on my body. I shiver from that cold, cold world, that old world. You'll never survive if you don't try to calm the waters on the inside. On the inside, you're the moonlight. On the outside, gotta hold tight. Let the storm pass it. Then you walk on water. 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 Balance, I'm challenged. I try to shift the currents of my mind. Oh, don't suffer with the times. Don't settle for this cruel, cruel world, this old world. You'll never survive if you don't try to calm the